guys, and welcome to part 2. Let me turn this up so I can hear it. Part 2 of my stomping grounds in Ohio, Cincinnati. This one here, I didn't have a whole lot of time. I kind of disappointed myself when I come home and I realized it sure wasn't enough time to do a whole lot. I wish I could go back. Maybe I will soon enough to do more. I wanted to focus more on Oiler and didn't have a chance to. And the reason I didn't, something I've noticed, and I haven't been there in years, so I don't know how different the neighborhood has gotten. Of course, it's always bad. So it's been that way since I was going to school there. But I noticed there were probably about 8 to 10 children on the playground in that area. And when I drove up, they were playing. And as I was standing there, I noticed some guys came out of this apartment complex, probably about 5 or 6. And when they did, all these children ran off, took off running. We didn't know why they did. We didn't really want to know what was going on. Something wasn't right about it. This is the great thing about growing up in Lower Price Hill. I can't say great, but one of the great things I've learned through my lifetime is being street smart, and something that this place has always taught me, even though I live in Texas now, is how to be street smart, how to notice things. Since growing up there, I've always watched people. I've always watched how things are going, situations, scenarios, different things like that. When people were in the area, I always watched more than I talked. And some people think that's a little difficult to believe. But, yeah, I've studied a lot over the years, and that's one thing it taught me, is to learn by studying how things work, especially when you're growing up or you're in the streets or whatever. And so I noticed that when I pulled up, that's why I make that joke about the car. It wasn't intended to insult anybody, but you'll see what I mean. But yeah, I wish I had more time to focus on that, and I didn't, and I'm sorry I didn't, but I want to. I even thought about having a radio show in discussion with a few family members about things that happened when we grew up and what we did when we grew up and stuff like that. And I want to, some of the funny things go through my head. And the other day I was sitting down talking to one of my brothers at Denny's, and we had this discussion the entire time we were there, and I thought maybe this would be great to talk about this on a radio show and all that, especially spending most of our younger years at Oiler and West High and things like that for all of us. Me, not West High, but definitely Oiler. I was the first Montessori student there, so on and so forth. So, appreciate you listening to me talk, and I hope I could do more. I would like to talk about more and discuss it, because I know all of you on the Facebook pages really appreciate it. And I would love to do more for that. But until then, thank you for watching. And if I see something, I'll comment on it. But I appreciate you watching. And keep in mind, at the end of this, I'm going to have some other things I want to talk about as well. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy it. Part 2. Keep the car running. So this is the elementary school I went to, Montessori, up to when I was 9 years old when we moved to Indiana. This is Oiler. It's been here since 1800s, I think. And it's still here. There used to not be a fence here. There was a pool right here, public pool. Now it's a playground. I wish I could get inside, but that's okay. I don't need to. But this school is haunted as hell. They used to claim that I would put my ear to the floor because I would listen to the people on the floor below me, and there was no floor below me. I went to Montessori here up to 3rd grade, pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, Montessori, 3rd grade, 1st grade, 2nd grade. It does not look like a elementary school. Now I think it's a high school. This is a very, 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 very poor neighborhood. So now I'm at what they used to call Spinney Field, where the Bengals used to practice. It's changed so much. We used to watch them practice from the top of that bridge. People used to watch the Bengals practice from this field, from that bridge. But it used to be gated off. And now it's not. We'd sneak under the fence. We'd sneak. There's a fence from here all the way up around. So you couldn't get in, but we snuck under the fence to get in here when it wasn't open. But this is where I met Paul Brown.
It's so small.
Yeah. This building wasn't here. But, huh? It was a smaller building. It looked like a mobile home type. But that sucks because this was donated to the kids in the neighborhood, and I guess police took it. Now it's police academy or something. But you can see where it used to be a field that still got the goalpost. I guess because it's historic, so they didn't want to tear it down. Back there's a mill creek. Nasty, stinky creek. But around here is where Ebbets Field used to be. And the mattress factory over there is still there. And there should be a Rawlings, I believe, factory here. Used to be, but it's gone too, I guess. But yeah, I used to sneak under the fence in the 70s and play here. And I remember jogging around here with a friend of mine, and Anthony Munoz was here. And he was jogging with us. I can't remember it, but he says we did. But, you know, that was probably late 70s, early 80s, late 70s. Yeah. But now it's not fenced in, but they have a trespassing sign, so I can't go onto the field. I'd like to, but I can't. And there's a building I was telling you about way up there. Yeah.
What was it?
That apartment, I think they say it used to be a hotel. Yeah.
The stairs go all the way up?
Yeah. If you can see old pictures of me in the 90s, I'm with some. I come by here from Dallas and took some pictures with the players. Was in this parking lot. Because I used to come out of the gate. Out of the gate right here, because this was gated off too. And the gate said on the front, Cincinnati Bengals practice facility. So, but it looks better than it did. It didn't used to look this nice. I believe that's Rawlings. There used to be Rawlings over there. So now it's a police station. Say police academy. That's cool. Still looks, from that end on, it looks the same. But I didn't want to go on the field without saying anything. But I remember when I met Paul Brown here, because it was freezing. My brothers were playing football on the field, and I was cold. It was really cold that day. He had knocked on the door to see if it would let me in to get warm, and Paul Brown answered the door and let me come in and warm up. He was a nice guy. Very nice guy. Word to the wise, if you ever go in the Union Terminal, whether you go in there to see the Egypt Museum or Egypt Museum or the Museum of the Holocaust, pick your feet up, because there's like 5 times I've almost tripped over myself in that museum because it has no grip on the floors, or it has too much grip. has too much grip, and oh, that guy's rude. Anyway, has too much grip, and I nearly tripped over myself. So be careful where you walk. It's amazing. It's still beautiful as always. Really, really think it's cool. Stopped using it in 1972, but it used to be used to take people through here in the train station during World War II. So, Museum of Natural History in New Cincinnati History Museum. I remember coming here as a kid. Field trips. But I'm not sure. It's a museum now, but it used to be a train museum. As you can see, this is where the people would get picked up, and then this is where you used to buy the tickets for the trains. It's now a store. Somehow they revitalized it. You can still see a sign over there that says 2 trains. I thought it was longer ago, a lot longer when they used to use the train station, but they said it stopped in 1972. But I thought it was earlier than that, so I was wrong. But they still had the signs. They still got the little windows where they did the trains or train tickets. So it's pretty cool. It still looks the same. So I still haven't gotten to eat what I wanted to eat. I wanted turnovers, and all I got is this crappy ice cream. I'm just kidding. Which I'm gonna eat. I'm at Grader's. I wanted turnovers. But I guess they only make them in the morning now. I used to buy them after school, and before school I'd get turnovers. They're like homemade. That's okay. Maybe they'll have it at the airport when I leave. Grader's.
What to do, because there's like a whole aisle of reds and Bengal stuff. We were looking, then he saw the flags. He goes, yeah, he's quite overcome with emotion. Oh my God. He has no shame.
Well, this is it, people. Going back home. Here the Smash Burger. No Skyline here, I would have ate there. No White Castle here, would have ate there too. Graders don't have turnovers anymore, which sucks. So, Clean McLinn's. I got homesick again when I was leaving, which is weird. Yeah, after all these years, I still get homesick when I leave. Anyway, it's nice to see y'all. Hope you enjoy yourself, and hopefully I return soon. Later. I appreciate everyone watching the videos, and I want to thank you for going to my YouTube and adding more viewers on there, subscribing, and watching the videos. Please comment also. It does help me do a little better of knowing what I'm doing. And I want to thank you all for watching. Stay tuned. I'm going to have another one, but this one is going to deal with the paranormal side of everything that I've learned through the years of being living there and what I grew up with. It's very creepy stuff. I would have not had the knowledge I have if it wasn't for starting out in that area and the things that have happened to me, and the legends that go on down there, and just the weird and unusual. And from what I hear, they still go on today. Also, I want to thank everybody, the people there, and growing up and all that, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have the vast knowledge of music, being involved in radio, wouldn't have a degree, all the things that go with it. The whole reason that I got involved in it is because of people like Mark Sebastian and Casey Kasem and things like that. And I became kind of obsessed with it. I have a passion and a love for that sort of thing, and that's why I got into radio. And that's one thing that most people go to when they have nothing else. The music kind of takes them away, takes them to a place away from the some of the bad things they had when they grow up. And one thing I want to say for the people that still live in the area, that you can do whatever you want to do, especially the kids that go to Euler and that are growing up. You can be whoever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. You can take any road you want. Just because you live in that area, just because it sees the things you see, and just because people tell you certain things doesn't mean that you can't have a future. It doesn't mean that you can't do something with yourself, and it doesn't mean that you can't become a better person. You can get out of there, and you can go as high as you want and be the person you want to be. You just got to put in the effort. You got to work for it. You got to be determined, and you got to be persistent, and ignore all the negative things that go on in your life, and ignore all the negative speech that everyone tells you, because you can do it. You can make it. I know sometimes you think that you can't, but believe me, many people have. Many people have done something with themselves, and many people have gotten out of there. I've run my own radio station. I have met so many people through this field that I've done, and it's never a job. And just remember, just because you don't have to be a millionaire, you don't have to be famous, you don't have to be any of that to be what you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. It's not even a job. Just love what you do. Have a passion for it, and follow those. Follow the dream that you have, the things that you fantasize about, the life that you are hoping for. Follow that path, and you can live that life. Just be persistent, be determined, and don't ever quit. And don't ever stop doing what you're doing. Don't let anyone change your mind or force you to change your mind, and don't let anyone push you and tell you that you can't when you can. Follow that dream and make it a reality. Good luck in everything you do. Thank you for watching. Hey everybody, don't forget to check out Reverse 96 FM on TuneIn, Streama, and now internetradio.com.